Welcome to Raising Wisdom, where we embark on a transformative journey of enlightenment, introspection, and self-discovery. Here, we don't just talk about life's challenges, we embrace them as opportunities to grow, evolve, and unlock the true potential within. I'm your girl, Nico Sakari, the Mad Alchemist and your Zenjourne coach, here to provide tools to help you nurture, align, and evolve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's elevate together. High vibrations. What's going on? What's up, everybody? I hope all is well. Welcome back to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. It is here we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Together we will navigate the complexities of life, seeking the elusive wisdom that enriches our minds and souls. So get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unlock the true potential of your being. High vibrations. I am your host, Nico Sakari, mother, priestess, the Mad Alchemist, and your Zenjourne coach. What's going on? I'm so happy to be back. My cheeks hurt already. Goodness gracious. I miss you guys so much. I hope all is well again for everything that you're doing. I hope all your dreams have been coming true. It has been a wild time. Okay, it's September and it's been exhausting, has it not? However, I hope that you guys are doing things to keep that joy going in your life, despite the fact that the world is crashing. It's okay though, because we're all about to build something new. We are actively, collectively building something new. It's taken a lot of courage and reflection to get to this moment, you guys. This is actually my second time filming because so much happened last night, and so when things are trying to get into your way, okay, you just gotta act like it don't exist. All right, you just gotta brush it off and keep going. You feel me? Okay, so our topic is breaking the silence, okay, projections, spiritual warfare, and broken lenses. So what I can say, if you've ever been narrated by someone's broken lens or tangled in a loop you're ready to end, like, this episode is specifically for you. Don't ever give up on any of your callings, your purpose, or your dreams. Okay? Love, Nico. So moving forward, there was a break in everything I knew to be true. All right. And it's been 5 months to the day, I believe, because my last episode was my birthday episode on, let me see. So my birthday, 4/27, I released it on 4/28, right? Yeah, to the day. It's been 5 months. Wow, so much has happened in 5 months. Goodness gracious. But yeah, that was my birthday episode. That was about reciprocity. As I've always said many times, my words for this year are mastery and reciprocity, okay? Everything I've been fighting so hard to hold together really just fell apart. It just fell apart. I snapped and it all fell apart. Not by someone else's hands, but my own. Silence just being broken. That's what got me to this moment today. Okay, so when you break silence, you don't just unleash words, you unleash triggers, you unleash rage, okay? And that rage ain't no joke. I'll tell you that right now. It's important to stay grounded so that that rage doesn't put you into a different frequency that could be potentially harmful and dangerous, if you will. But you also unleash the hidden ways that people have pretty much taken you for granted. It gets to a point, it gets to a point. I just want to say, I just looked at this story on Facebook. I mean, not on Facebook, on Instagram. And this young lady, she had, I believe, 3 children. And she unalived herself and left a note about, her favorite color, and she was just tired. And my heart really just goes out to her, and especially her children. Goodness gracious. I mean, nobody was there to help the baby. You know what I'm saying? She looked fairly young as well. But that was her last note on Facebook before she took herself up out of here. That's really, really unfortunate. She also mentioned something about, I love the people that love me. And we, in reciprocity, we want to give the love back to the people that love us. But also, there's just a reminder to check on your friends. Check on your strong friends. Check on your friends that's laughing all the time. Okay? Because everything don't be sweet. All right? So, rest in peace to that lady. Also, rest in peace, rest in power, Asada Shakur. She was definitely one of my sheroes, and she will definitely go down as the baddest woman I've ever known. Okay. Yeah. So she transitioned on the 25th. So we should definitely uplift her. Okay. Hold her frequency and tell her story. Don't ever let that get lost in translation. Because there are some people out here trying to change the whole trajectory of anything and everything that happened if you just happen to be us. Fun. Hasn't it been fun? Anywho, let's get back into it, because let's not bring the frequency down. But yeah, living as an empath can often feel like being a hero without a cape. Or maybe the cape without the reward even. You give, you shield, you pour, you feel, and in return, you just carry weight, a lot of weight. The limitations, the frustrations, and sometimes you even lose. Yeah, y'all excuse my blanket too, okay? It gets kind of cold in here, and my regular, my life has just been thrown up into topsy-turvy. There's so many things that has changed, so many things I've had to have gotten used to in this new chapter. Chapter 39 has been, goodness gracious, it's been eye-opening, it's been scary, it's been fun, it's been full of a bunch of love and a lot of shedding. Sometimes that torch that carried you forward gets extinguished and you think it's over. But here I stand, all right, finding, learning, reigniting the light. Not just any light, but an ancient flame. One that has always been waiting on me, waiting for me. One that now rises in me as priesthood. This episode is my return, my resurrection, and an invitation to yours as well. Yes. Y'all, let's talk about this eclipse. But first, do y'all like my dress? Do you like? Huh? I designed this some years back. You see that? SC, Sweet Cupcake. That's what it stands for. It was a clothing line that I had. And I had so much belief in this clothing line. I still do things from time to time. Sweet Cupcake was my jam, though. And this is one of the dresses that I made from it. I haven't worn this since I was in St. Thomas. Yeah. St. Thomas, what a time. Okay, I gotta get back traveling again too. Where's the last place y'all travel? Let me know in the comments. Give me some inspiration. Okay, I really want to go to Bali, and I want to go to Mauritius. Is it called Mauritius in East Africa? I want to check that out. There's a few places I want to go, but if y'all got some suggestions, definitely let me know in the comments for sure. We are going to get into this eclipse energy, though, before we go any further, because we must talk about it, shall we? Because what did we just have? That it was a blood moon? Yeah, that was big. And then we had the black moon. It was a lot going on, but what I can tell you is that this energy got my womb in a frenzy. However, our most recent friend, okay, has been this partial eclipse that we just went through. Uh-oh. My blanket. I'm at that age where you just put a little throw over your knees. Hilarious. Anyway, yes. So this partial eclipse we just went through. Like I said, my womb has just been responding to the luminaries in ways I've never experienced. Please let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Just tender and aware and a little loud, okay? But just let me know if you can definitely relate to that. All my women, yeah. She's been cutting up. Okay, anyway, so this partial eclipse is simple. The moon slides in front of the sun for a moment. Part of the light is covered. The light doesn't leave. It's just a shadow passing. That's what many of us have probably been feeling. Okay, not broken, not faithless, just noticing what's been moving between us and our light. Let me know if you can agree with me in the comments, okay? If you track astrology, this one was in Virgo. It's earthy, honest, and let's clean up the room energy. And here's the beautiful thing. Eclipses move in long cycles. This one doesn't appear back again until 18 years, I hope I'm right on that. Yeah, but there's a whole lot of other gangsters in the luminaries that's outside, okay, in the retrograding and everything. Goodness. With all that being said, the window is now. We're still in the 9 the portal energy there, along with all the residue that came from the prior moons. So, just use the energy to your advantage. That's the best way that I can put that to you. Like, spiritually, an eclipse is a reset. I told you this is like a quantum leap. If y'all follow me, you saw that I did a ritual to quantum leap using the energy of the partial eclipse. All right, and that was pretty much just a letting go session. But just as well as I was letting go, I was also bringing in a new, okay? So you can go to my IG to check that video out. I believe it's on Facebook too, but Anywho, not knocking anybody on Facebook. It's just like I go up there to see how everyone's doing. But I've definitely been thriving on TikTok, and I love the gram. So, but yeah. Anyway, what was I telling y'all about this eclipse? Yeah, that it acts as well as a reset, that quantum leap. It also acts as a mirror because it shows the shadow crossing the light, crossing your light. Okay. And it's a hack because it opens a quick doorway to leap toward a truer version of yourself, the version of you that you've been longing for and been feeling detached from, while you shed the loop that kept you small. So there's that. Okay, so I know you're like, Nico, get on with it. Tell us the goodies. So pretty much like I went silent, where I went quiet after episode 38, and not quiet because I didn't have anything to say, but quiet because my spirit had been attacked from every side. Family dynamics, relational disappointments. I just was swarmed, and silence became survival. It did. But silence does not always equate to peace, right? I mean, it's a nice getaway. It's a nice getaway, but it doesn't always equate to that. And I know that I'm not alone in this. All right. So some of you listening, you know what it is to hold your tongue, to dim your fire, to stop your work. And that's what happened. We've talked so many times about not dimming your light for anything, for anyone, just continuing forward, keeping that flame. I'm telling you one thing, when these broken lenses, these projections, these spiritual attacks come charging towards you, and you've been constantly in a loop of survival. Now, that doesn't mean that happiness and joy doesn't take place. You feel me? As I've been going through all of these things, I'm still able to operate and do my job as a mother, as a priestess, as a coach, as an author. But it's that undertone. It's that voice that says, baby girl, you're not okay. You aren't okay. You are not okay. The voice you swallow becomes the weight that you carry. If you're holding your breath to keep the room calm, then peace that requires your disappearance, it's not peace. It's a pact with your erasure. And we're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. When you're not allowed to just be when you're not allowed to just be unapologetically you'll find yourself being in survival mode, always anticipating, always shielding, always on the defense, like shoulders up, tense, your breathing exercise don't seem like it's doing too much, you feel me? But there is a sacred twist to this, and I'm going to explain something to you. In all of those things, right? In all of those things, you trained your sight and elevated your spiritual gifts. You can feel danger before it arrives. You sense intention in tone. You read the shadows beneath the smiles because you had to. You developed a skill, a superpower, okay? You have heightened senses now, and it's because of that deep, silent trauma that just lingers there, all for you to swallow and hold all by yourself. So I want to talk about projections and broken lenses. This is very, very important, y'all. I've been silenced by people who should have loved me. I've been projected on by people who should have protected me. Okay. Okay, so I have been silenced by people who should have loved me. I've been projected on by people who should have protected me, and I've been seen through broken lenses that never showed me clearly. My podcast, my offering of reciprocity and purpose to raise wisdom, sexualized, and not just because, that's what I'm given. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not accurate to my work or anything that I promote on raising wisdom. But because that lens, that is skewered, someone close to me chose to see through, it just really did something to me. It did something to me because, well, it was part of the breaking. It was part of me going quiet because I was trying to evaluate a lot of things and what was happening in my life, and with the people around me, with the people who say that they love me, and just even with, past situations, people rewriting my story in front of strangers as though I wasn't enough as I am. Their words, their judgments, their dismissals, they've all tried to narrate me. And when someone's lens is warped, your truth shows up distorted. Softness becomes sexualized. Generosity becomes manipulation. Priesthood becomes performance. And it's just like, what have I been giving off all these years for this to be the angle? And I had to do some serious tuning in to what was happening in my life from the people that I have been closest to in my life. And even if not so close, close. Okay. You just got to call it what it is. You got to call it for what it is. And I don't mean to be all mystical about it, but I don't name drop. And, I don't do any name dropping because people know who they are and what they did and what they said. Okay. They don't need a little nomination. They don't need, they don't need a foundation. They don't need like a pedestal or anything like that. The truth of all of that is if someone's lens is cracked, you will never be seen clearly through their eyes. And that's not your fault. That's theirs. That goes into projections. And we know what that is. We know what that looks like. But it's not always, it's, how do you say? As you're going through it, of course, you tell yourself, this is just a projection. You tell yourself all the things that you've learned to be able to protect yourself, like the wherewithal to be able to distinguish, is this healthy for me or is this not healthy for me, right? So let's get clear on a few things for clarity. Projection is when somebody takes their weight they don't want to feel and drops it in your lap. Their fear, their envy, their shame, their jealousy, it shows up on your face because it's easier for them to say you carry it than for them to sit with it. That's not love. That's relocation. Okay? We've discovered a lot of things aren't love that seem like it's wrapped up in it, right? Boundary is not just you being mean. We speak about boundaries all the time as well, but that seems to have its levels, doesn't it? Once you reach some boundaries, if you did the work and any one of you got my book Reset, the last workbook that I had, that I published, then boundary work is very important. Even if you have been one of my clients, we speak about boundary work all of the time, right? Because we have to be accountable for our own selves. So yes, that is repair. Okay. It's structure, it's accountability without the self-betrayal. That feeling that makes you sick to your stomach, like, dang, why I say that, or I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have let that happen. That was because you yourself disrespected your own boundaries, and now you didn't open up Pandora's box for the disrespect to come dwindling in, right? So the repair is to get some straightening, all right, in a positive way that can be that both parties can be receptive to. However, if one party does not understand what's happening with your boundaries, and there is no wavering on that, then you have other choices and decisions that you have to make. But let me just say something too. I want you to hear this. Projections don't define you. Boundaries don't isolate you, and repair doesn't make you weak, okay? These are just tools to keep your voice clear and your flame steady. So declare something with me today, all right? We gonna declare that I return projections to sender, okay? When you find those things happening, you're like, I know they ain't talking about me. Okay, you really search yourself and you're like, but that doesn't define me. That's not who I am. That sounds like a projection. Return to sender. So I return projections to sender. May truth remain. May distortion dissolve. Yeah, it needs to be some dissolution with all of that, because you don't want that attached to your being. It becomes your identity, obscured identity of who you think you are, right? So, child, enough about all of that, because we can go down some deep rabbit holes when it comes to that. And like I said, I don't do no name dropping. People who know what they've done to you know what they've done to you. I'm not messy. I'm petty a little bit, but I'm not messy. You know what I'm saying? I just want you guys, I want you to leave with something, so that all the things that I went through within these past 5 months, I'm able to wrap it up in however long this episode is going to be for this finale, so there can invoke like some change within yourself, so that you can reach your higher self in the most righteous way. Hi vibrations, it's your girl Nika Sakari. I just want to share a few things with you. I hope all is well. First and foremost, nobody teaches you how to stop pouring when your own cup is empty. And water doesn't ask for permission or apologize where it's needed. So why do we? That is the heartbeat of my latest book, Return to Water. It is a workbook journal, a journey of self-healing, divine feminine, and rebirth. It's not a book that I wrote for you to fix yourself. It's vows that you will make to come home to yourself, to lay down the weight of the things that you weren't meant to carry. When you turn these pages, you don't walk these waters alone. Your inner self, your ancestors, your spirit guides all rise with you. So if your spirit has been calling for a reset, this is your entry. Grab your workbook journal, Return to Water at Zenjourne.life. Peace. This is for the woman who shows up for everyone, but doesn't remember the last time she was held. Return to Water isn't just a workbook journal, it's a sanctuary, a sacred space to grieve, release, and begin again. Inside you'll find rituals, reflections, and real healing, not just inspiration, integration. And for those who want to go deeper, the Return to Water Oracle deck is an exclusive visual companion. Come home to yourself. The water is waiting. High vibrations. Now, let's get into these spiritual attacks. Listen, do you believe in magic? Because, oh my goodness gracious, the things that were coming. A lot of us feel but rarely say it out loud, right? Spiritual attacks, they happen. Okay, so all of you know I'm most definitely a spiritual girly. Being a cosmic high priestess definitely has its tests. I know many of my listeners are spiritually inclined as well. So most of you know what those spiritual attacks either looks like or feels like, and how to define it. Okay, so first let me explain. An attack doesn't always look like a curse on a crossroads or a dramatic hex in a movie or something. Most of the time it comes quiet, soft, and familiar. It shows up as heaviness that won't lift, a pattern of blockages that feel almost engineered, things falling apart right before your eyes, just as you're getting ready to move forward or to move towards a goal. There is stagnancy there, sudden fatigue, insomnia, unexplained sickness, nightmares. It can get raggedy. It can get real nasty. Or even just that low dread inside of your body when you come across someone before a conversation. Okay, pay attention to that feeling. Pay attention to your gut for sure. Yeah, because those are the kinds of things I mean when I say someone is doing work on you. Okay, or there's a spiritual interference there. You will be surprised. All right, you will be surprised what people be up to, what goes through their head, and what battles and demons that they're, dealing with, and how you can potentially be put in harm's way because of that. There are battles that the body feels before the mind can language them. Okay, it's like your spirit knows before your flesh can catch up. The heaviness, the static, and sudden fatigue, all of it. Okay, so oh my goodness. So you guys, I can tell you that I have endured targeted hostility with the hopes of breaking me, destroying me, harming me in the worst way. It was pretty bad. It wasn't fun. It was not fun. I went through sickness. I went through several things that I can't even explain, okay? However, I can tell you that I won. Because spiritual attacks come from those who hide in shadows, all right? It holds no weight in the vessel of a being familiar with darkness and is carried by light. So keep that in mind. It's not anything to necessarily fear as long as you are able to reignite your flame. So you might be asking, how can I tell if I'm in harm's way? Okay. Here are the signs that you can look, or some signs that you can look out for. So the same sabotage keeps repeating in different forms, okay? In different people, in different ways. Resources vanishing, messages get misread, opportunities stall. A persistent heavy feeling in the chest or the crown chakra doesn't respond to normal self-care, right? So if you're feeling things that don't feel natural, for instance, for myself, I have allergies, but I ain't got them like that, right? And the sinus, I thought that I just had like a sinus headache when really I was being monitored, if you will. Okay. Yes, my love, you heard me right. I was being monitored. It was very uncomfortable and I didn't feel okay. I was just hauling up mucus every single day. Every single day. I had other health issues that I was dealing with. It was pretty heavy. However, my guides, the Most High, my ancestors really did a big one for me, for sure, because I am free. And I'm back. I'm back, y'all. They did not take me out. They didn't take me out, but to add on to all of that, the unspecified sickness, I did mention that. Anchored depression, okay, not to be mistaken for clinical depression that you've been diagnosed with because of whatever traumas that you may be able to get through, or something that's just reoccurring in a PTSD form. I don't mean like that, okay? They will be very recognizable. The reoccurrent nightmares, the vivid dreams, strange repetitive symbols in your life that doesn't resonate or feel good within you and your spirit, okay? Those are things to look out for. Sudden patterns of just consistent conflict that shows up right before you come up. Weird energetic exhaustion after being around certain people or places. If any of these line up, trust that your body is reporting something real, to mention just a few, okay? So where do these attacks come from? Honestly, love, sometimes from strangers, sometimes from systems, and sometimes from people who love us, exes, or said that they love us, pretended to love us, or might actually do love us, you know, exes, family lines, dynamics where someone keeps projecting their unresolved stuff onto you. That's why I always say this gently. Naming the source isn't about blame. It's about data. Okay? We gather the facts so we can put proper protection in places. When I say I'm not going to, be name dropping, it's because I'm not messy. But please believe in the experiences that I have had to reconstruct myself. I had to call them by their names, one by one, and literally deal with every single matter distinctly, in order for me to be able to be lifted out of that heavy weight. I mean, I'm telling you, the transitions that has happened from all of these hexes and spells and distorted lenses being placed upon me, I don't have any more craving for any type of validation from anyone else but me. I care about how I feel about me, okay? Not how others feel about me or whatever, or moving in a certain type of way to expect, for the expectations of others. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're like, Nico, you always going to be you. True indeed. True indeed. Your strongest soldiers can really be hit the hardest You know what I mean? And I was hit hard, y'all. I was hit real hard. And it almost really took me out. Like I told you, I was sick. It was a lot of things that, I just had to figure out and come up out of. Because all my life I was going about things a certain kind of way. Because remember when I told you earlier, you kind of developed this, you developed this superpower of kind of just knowing things, or whether, especially if you're an empath. And my spiritual gifts just got stronger, and I'm grateful that I'm on the right side of things, because that is what saved me. That's what saved me, for sure. My spirituality saved me. I saved me. Grace, mercy, the Most High, okay, Ruach, everybody came in for the kid, okay? And that is why I have this beautiful smile on my face today. So, for reference, words are tools, okay? With intention, whether conscious or unconscious, words can and will function like spells. I've seen how repeated narratives about your worth or your work or your body become frameworks that hold energy in place. So when someone repeatedly speaks about your life as small over and over, these words become a part of the architecture of the loop. That's why returning projections is necessary work, even the ones that you place on yourself as well. Because I'm gonna be real with you, sometimes if we are not careful, that's why what we say out of our mouths is so important to police, if you will. Okay. Sometimes it's just not necessary to speak. If it ain't something that is gonna lift you up or lift another up, just don't speak it. I don't think people realize that. And the more people that come with that vitriol, the more people that come with the negativity and things of that nature in groups, it just makes it more powerful. So definitely protect yourself. Stay prayed up for sure. And know when you have a square in your circle, okay? You got to know, or you're gonna be lost in the sauce, baby, and that's joke's on you. Yes, but naming it is not drama, it's data. And if you know this terrain, you're not crazy. If you know anything about this, you're not crazy. You know you're not crazy. You've seen it. You've gone through it. Okay? You came up out of the trenches from it. And may the Most High bless you. Okay? Happy to see you. Happy to be here. Your sensitivity is a sensor. Okay? Not a sentence. So, remember that. And no, you're not powerless in this. You can combat these kinds of attacks through psalms, prayer, discernment, fasting, and other various ways, okay? These practices aren't superstition and all of that stuff. And if you know, you know. And most of you here do. If anyone doesn't know, drop your question in the comments. I'll be sure to get back to you. But it's recalibration. They bring you back. They center your field. They strengthen your boundaries from the inside out. And if you're listening right now and thinking, hey, that's me. Like, I feel something I can't name. Know this. You don't have to do it by yourself. If you feel like you're being targeted or are experiencing spiritual interference that you can identify, I offer scheduled readings and energy sessions. Book a time at Zenjourne.life and let's get clear on what's happening and how to protect your field. I do want to note that spiritual readings are supportive practices, okay? And they do not replace medical, mental health, or emergency services. If you're in immediate danger, please contact your local emergency services. Yes. In the meantime, between time, holla at me. Let's see what we can figure out. Let's see what the truth reveals in regards to what's going on with you. Okay? Cool beans. Yeah, all of these broken lenses, these projections, the attacks seriously taxed my joy, silenced my podcast, which muted my message. They stole my fire for a time. But let me be clear, I am not staying silent anymore. All right, there is not enough envy, jealousy, hatred, disdain, background noise, background conversations, hexes, spells, juju, jazz that you can have that is going to block what the Most High has for me. So there's that. And I want you to take that same fire and that same energy and make sure you harnessed it within yourselves so that you take your power back, because I've realized something. My silence was their win. Yeah. My silence was their comfort. And I'm very much in the business of making naysayers, haters, projectors very uncomfortable. I was never born to comfort their distortions. I was born to raise wisdom. So I was born to set fires, and I was born to bridge the veils. All right. And so are you. We all have a place in this world, as crazy as it is. We all have our purpose in this world, in order for us to begin anew. You know, I love to tell y'all, everybody cannot go, but what we can do is hope and pray that they rectify things within themselves so that they can be able to have peace and break free from the demons holding them into submission. Is that a bit much? Goodness gracious, I'm telling y'all, it was crazy. I'll give more stories about what actually happened in another episode, but being that this is the finale, I definitely just want to talk on these points, especially so that we can charge this energy for our greatest good. So here's what changed everything. Quantum, just understanding the quantum loop, like a karmic cycle. Okay, think of it like that. Yep, that is the loop unlocked. The spin became a spiral up opposed to a spiraling around me. Okay, because I was spiraling a little bit. So the next thing I want to talk about before we get ready to get out of here, because I've been holding y'all up. It's almost been an hour, I think. So the difference between quantum loops and quantum leaps, right? So quantum loops are just repeating patterns like deja vu. Okay, same money, same boundary issues resurfacing. Okay, just cycles keep coming back until they're addressed. Okay, spinning the heaviness, the here we go again. All right, that's the loop. And the quantum leaps are just a sudden shift. You're not negotiating with the old pattern anymore. You have clear decisions, new energy, new behavior. All of that collapses the old pattern. Instant reclassification, new baseline, a whole reset, relief, exposure, and you feel lighter. Okay, but a little less, a lot less conflicted. Okay, y'all excuse my hair. It's been a long day. All right, but ain't she still pretty though? You know what I'm saying? All right, that's the confidence you need. I love you guys so much. So now that we understand the difference there, it's necessary that you keep that in mind once you're moving forward. Okay, let's be clear. To draw the line in the sand, silence is fear-based, is self-abandonment, unless you're choosing it for your peace. Okay, defined for your peace. All right, and sanctuary, all right, is where that silence can reside. That's soul-based. It's intentional. It's pausing to heal so that you can return in your natural light, all right? Today, I end the silence, and I want you to end the silence too, all right? Keep your sanctuary. I got 3 questions for you, though. I want you to ask yourself, where am I abandoning myself to keep access? What boundary would make me more honest and more loving? And what vow will hold when the emotions fade? Okay? So y'all, this is the rebirth, okay? This is the ending of a chapter, season 3 finale, and my resurrection episode. It is my return. It is my rising. I am taking back my torch. I am fanning the ancient flame, okay? I'm stepping into my priesthood with a new light, not one that flickers from afar, but one that burns in sovereignty, okay? And if you're listening to this, I want you to know silence does not have to be your ending. It can be the pause before your rising. You don't have to live through their projections. You don't have to wear their broken lenses. You don't have to shrink under spiritual attacks. You can rise, you can speak, you can break the silence. So listen, whenever in doubt, all right? Whenever in doubt, you can say these 3 things. I keep my voice with my God. I keep my power with my boundaries. I keep my joy with my yes. Okay? I'm going to repeat that for you so that you don't get it, you know what I'm saying, mixed up. All right? You ready? I keep my voice with my God. I keep my power with my boundaries. I keep my joy with my yes. Okay, I hope that resonates with you all. Well, we did it. Okay, we were at the end of the road. Finally. Make sure to pick up my latest book, Return to Water. Okay, available on Zenjourne.life. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I really want to thank each and every one of you for rocking with me this long. Whether you're a new subscriber, whether you was with me when we were called Pressure Makes Diamonds, and the lighting was very questionable. Whether you found me in the middle or you're new to Raising Wisdom, I'm very grateful for all of your support. I'm so glad that we're growing together. It has been so much growth. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in season 4, episode 40. Okay, I am very open to topics that you'd like me to discuss. Some things you want to talk about, let me know. You can leave it in the comments or DM me on my IG at Zenjourne Coach. All right. And for every woman, or anyone for that matter, silenced, misnamed, or spiritually harassed, I witness you. All right. I see you. May your silence break. May your loops resolve. May your wisdom rise. We were never meant to survive small, ever. We were made to live free, okay? And I just want you to be able to experience freedom, okay? Being released from the loop and leaping into the future that you deserve, all right? So make sure that you come back, guys. In a world where gossip rules, I'm so grateful that you've come back to shine the gems on your crown here on Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. So may you have a prolific rest of your week. Love with light. Peace.